Hi everyone, my name is Ankur Gupta and welcome to the channel. And today we are going to talk about something important and which I'm sure all of you might already be using or might encountering in your day-to-day lives, which is called effective communication. Now, what exactly is effective communication? A lot of you might think that it is speaking well in public, articulating yourself, or giving the message to the audience that you want to give in an effective manner. So I think all of those three are correct. And mostly, the most important one is obviously giving the message to your audience, the intended message to your audience effectively. And that is what makes communication effective. And that's why it's called effective communication. Now, what is it that is required for effective communication? So I'm going to tell three things that make communication effective and actually can make a difference. And those three things I'm going to talk about in this video. So stay tuned and please subscribe to the channel if you like it, or like the video if you really like, if you find it helpful. All right. So, what are the three things? So, the first step in effective communication is breaking down your message. So, always remember, if you have a message to give it in points or break down the message for the audience to understand it better, for the audience to take away some of the points from the message. Because as human beings, I think it is easier and it is more uh, wieldy for the human brain to actually process information which is given to you in parts, right? So, using that fundamental, basically what we try to do is break the message into points or into chunks, and the information that you have to give to your audience is easy. It's easy to remember for you as well as a speaker, and for your audience it is actually being kind. You are being kind to your audience when you actually break down information and think about your it signals the audience that you're really thinking about them as well, rather than just coming and speaking what you have to speak. It's better that you break it down and make it digestible, so that they can actually really understand it and take away some of the learnings from your speech, learnings from your training, whatever it is. So make sure that whatever you have, break it into points as much as possible. Now, what's the second thing? Now, the second thing in effective communication is to speak not from your throat. A lot of people actually, try and, whenever they go in front of an audience or whenever they talk to other people, most of the people they end up speaking from their throat. However, there's a wealth, there's this treasure trove of speech that is actually lying down in your body, which is the diaphragm. And the diaphragm is the one which is actually helping you breathe. So when you breathe in a relaxed way, and you can do this with me, breathe in, you'll see that you have your diaphragm expanding, right? And that is the place where you will get the range of your voice, and you will get the ability to actually communicate better and effective, and you will feel more relaxed, you will feel more natural, and it will not be a stressful kind of a job for your body, for your mind. You'll be able to speak fluently, you'll be able to think on your feet. So try and speak from your diaphragm. So make sure that whenever you go in front of an audience, whenever you speak to your other people, when you have to communicate from your diaphragm. Try and speak from your diaphragm, and that will actually make a lot of difference, and you'll notice this difference. Try and do it consciously, and once you do it, once you get a habit of speaking from your diaphragm, it will actually be a great habit, and it will help you communicate effectively. And that's my second point: speak from diaphragm. So the first point that we talked about was break your information into points. Second point that I have is speak from your diaphragm. Now, what is the third point? The third point that I have observed And and what makes an effective communicator is speak slowly. Most of the times we tend to rush into what we are speaking, and we tend to actually get out of the situation. It's basically your fight or flight, as you might call it, where you try and just vomit out whatever you have to speak and get out of the situation. Don't panic. you know Try and hold your breath, hold it in the diaphragm, and you can actually take pauses in your speech as well. So a lot of great speakers, they take pauses in their speech, and that actually gives an effect to the audience. That effect could be, the audience starts thinking, the audience actually assimilates what is being given to them in terms of speech. The audience actually appreciates you taking pauses. So it is okay to take pauses, and it is okay to speak slowly, and it's actually better to speak slowly. So I would say those are the three things that are important for an effective communicator, for you being an effective communicator. And please like the video if you find it helpful, if you find it useful. Please practice these three things consciously, and I'm sure that you will find an immense difference in your communication, be it speaking publicly in front of your teammates, speaking in team meetings, or speaking even with your manager or your supervisors, who at times are at senior leadership position, and you feel a little conscious in front of them, or whatever it is. Practice these three things, and I'm sure that you'll do great in your communication. So have a great week, and happy start on a Monday.